Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Tangent. This is for Thursday, May 23rd. This is the 18th show.
We're on 18?
We're on 18 of the Weekly Tangent. That's Brooks. I'm Greg. Welcome, folks. Good to see everybody. Thank you for stopping in and checking out another episode. We've got some cool games. Actually, a lot of new games this week. Brand new. Mm-hmm. Well, games that released brand new across the industry is what I would say. I mean, we had plenty of deployments. But a couple of the major ones. One we're going to play tonight is American Fugitive.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is a brand new game. Came from the creators of... Who are the creators of it?
Well, it's inspired from
Dukes of Hazzard and
Chinatown Wars, yeah.
But the developers on it, we get it through a partner of ours, Plug-in Digital, but the developers had worked on what game? Why is it like slipping my mind right now? Time Splitters.
Oh,
that's what it was. Remember, we were
talking
had the whole
about
conversation
about Rare.
Yeah.
That's right. Shoot, I forgot. Sorry.
It was from the folks that did some of the Time Splitters and some of the GoldenEye 007.
Some of the Time Splitters guys were some of the Perfect Dark guys. Exactly. Were some of the GoldenEye guys. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. We were laughing about that, and surprisingly, I mean, you bring in those AAA developers, you end up getting some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see, and that's what we're going to play later, but. We actually got a bunch of other games in, and I was kind of surprised at the entire lineup. So tonight we've got Dandara. Now a couple of these are raw Fury games that we got 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Week and a half ago,
but they actually just launched. So Dandara, which we had on the service before.
Yep.
It's kind of a nice metroidvania / It's got hints of Super Meat Boy in it.
Yeah.
But a little bit more of like the Metroidvania style. Then we've got tennis. So we've got the new, well, not new. It's the complete package from...
It's the World Tennis Tour, and it's
Tennis Tour.
The Roland Garros.
Yes, but it's
edition.
from Big Ben.
Yeah.
Big Ben Studios is the developer, yes.
Sorry, I thought you were...
No.
The name of that guy
Tennis World Tour. So that's basically all the DLC included. That just launched this morning. Mm-hmm. So it's a game that's been out there, but we just got it recently. You got Uurnog Uurnlimited, another Raw Fury game, kind of like a puzzle platformer, reminiscent of like a little bit of Mario RPG style.
Sure,
like
the
paper. What was the one? Paper. Where it looked like they were paper.
It's Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Paper Mario. That was it. Not a Mario RPG. That was Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that was the one that Square did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit different than more like Final Fantasy, I guess. Then we got Shock Troopers 2 or Shock Troopers Second Squad, and that's an NEC or sorry, not an NEC. That is it's an arcade ROM, but it comes from.
It was on the Neo Geo originally.
The Neo Geo MVS, though.
Yeah, you and I got into the specifics of that.
AES.
Of that
yes,
conversation.
I was trying to think, was it AES?
Yeah.
It was an AES, because it's a Japanese direct port to the AES, as far as I know. And then Car Mechanic 2018, we actually opted to go in with that and talk about it, because we could not get the other game out that we got it out, but we couldn't get it to record. We were having some issues with the save game. I think it's something that they do, but it's City Skyline Campus launched this week too.
Yeah, so just a quick story on that. What had happened was we were going to show it off tonight, and one of our co-workers, John, is a super fan of it.
Yeah, John's
and he had this
offered up his stuff,
and he had this cool city we were going to show, and we just could not get the save to work, unfortunately. So,
thank you, Baltimore. Welcome, man. How was your week? Yep. It didn't. For some reason, it doesn't pull that same stream title over every time. So I see what you're saying. I'll fix that right now. Thanks for letting us know, and thanks for stopping in, man.
Nice to see you.
We just didn't get the title changed on Twitch. It didn't pull it in.
Strange.
Well, no, it's the way it is.
Trying to give you some cover.
Hope you had a good week, man. Glad to see you, Baltimore. Missed you last week, so yeah, it should be updated now. Thank you.
Cool.
But in news, I mean, obviously we always cover some news firsthand. We were talking about some of the articles that had hit the newsphere or blogosphere or whatever it is. I mean, however you count it. But one of them was the new Rift S.
The headset.
The headset.
The VR headset.
Wireless VR is finally upon us. The difference being that wireless VR has been there, right? We've all talked about that. We had mobile versions, like Samsung's had theirs.
Or was Daydream?
The Daydream
or the Oculus,
for
Samsung
Oculus,
stuff, right?
Or the Daydream for Google's Pixels, right? But those devices only had 3 degrees of freedom.
Yep.
This has 6 degrees of freedom.
Okay.
So it works just like a PlayStation View, or a PlayStation VR, or a PlayStation. Sorry, not a PlayStation. A Oculus, standard Oculus, or even the Vive, where the 6 degrees of freedom come where you can move in and out.
Okay. So
Right.
it's not
And up
just
and
this, but
Yes.
it's
Exactly.
Right.
So up and down, in and out, instead of turning left, right, look up, down kind of thing.
Right.
It can tell space. It's got 4 cameras built into it. It's got basically somewhat of a PC built into it. I'm not sure how big of a PC they're talking about, but it actually has, and I'm sure the specs are there. I'm looking at it right now. But it can run some games. It actually has. I've seen people playing Beat Saber.
okay.
I've seen people playing some new Star Wars game where it's a lightsaber
Oh, cool.
battle.
I haven't
seen that one yet, but I saw that the game. I've never played it myself.
Okay.
So it's actually got some quality titles on it. It's got 2 hand controllers.
Yep.
So you've got grips and triggers on it. Plus, I believe you have some kind of like analog and some A and B buttons. Funny enough, they don't have an internal battery. They're just double A's they run on.
Okay.
1 each. Kind of funny. The headset, kind of built in the PlayStation VR design, with the Halo looking kind of. It's not a Halo looking one. I guess it's more like the Pro version headset of the Vive that they added in afterwards.
Okay.
Where you put the Vive on your face and then you can pull this thing down and it wraps around and it's over the top, but it still straps. It's not the Halo kind of thing.
Okay. Interesting.
A lot of people are saying the weight's on the front
Yeah, we were talking
because the battery, computer, everything's
right.
there. Which you were saying, like, put the battery somewhere else to offset the weight.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that decision, I guess. I mean, I'm also not a hardware engineer, so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's cost involved, too.
Sure.
The battery does last 2 hours, though, which I heard people complaining about, but I'm like, I own mini VR headsets, and I don't think I've ever played it outside of you and I playing that racing game that one night, and maybe you
Sure.
playing Resident Evil all the way through.
Sure.
I never played for more than 2 hours in one sitting. It's tough.
That's an aggressive play.
Your eyes start to hurt. Like, there's some strain in there. I mean, get a little sweaty. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, on top of it, it's kind of intense, right? When you've got everything going on around you as you're playing. So,
oh, for sure.
So as far as just like whether it's your eyes or just even like mentally, it's just like you take it off and you're like, whew, okay.
Yeah, it's a little much. Baltimore even said, yeah, it's going to make the back of your neck hurt. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's wearing a headset for that long. Obviously the PlayStation 1, the Vive is a little heavy. The Vive it's beefy. It's got like girth to it, weight.
Yeah.
The PlayStation VR is actually very comfortable. It's probably the most comfortable headset that I believe is out there.
I agree.
And it's light.
Yep.
There's not a lot of weight to it. It's distributed well. But I will say the new Rift S probably would give you some back strain on your neck if you've got it on and you're constantly trying to like keep your head up. It's gonna put some strain on it.
Right. Yeah.
But it does look, I mean, the design looks as good as you can get without having to put, like, you know, batteries on the back of your head or have it all in a cable like that wireless piece I have for the Vive.
Yeah, I'm actually a really big fan, and we talked about this when we looked at the Index, which we're looking at the Index, we're like,
yeah,
looks plush. I wanted to see somebody do this without a wire. No, not one wire, 0 wire. So
yeah.
I'm really curious about this.
Yeah, they have to, I mean, moving forward, I kind of expect that if you're going to be successful, you're going to have a wireless device be the headset. So for PlayStation VR 2, my expectation would be it is rechargeable and it works over some kind of wireless HDMI. Because that's basically how Vive does theirs without the wireless, is a specific version of wireless HDMI.
I guess my expectation would be it's a wireless device, and in the box will come a cord that if you absolutely needed to, that you can plug it in.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they would give you that option, so if your battery died, you could keep playing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, unless they start to do dramatically different things in terms of like comfortability, in terms of the programming and the way the screens, because the screens start to bake your eyes too. I mean, that's the other thing. You got like 2 TVs strapped to your eyes within an inch, or not even an inch away.
People tell me I already sat too close, right?
So. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little rough. So I don't really tend to see some of that playtime increasing a lot, right?
Yeah.
I still see like certain people are going to have a certain amount of time they can deal with it, and that'll be it.
I'll be really curious come next week when Blood and Truth comes out to see what my longest play on that'll be.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely far more down the road of like adventure than it is like missions. So I imagine it's done in a mission style though, where it's like you play for a period of time, you finish something, you move on.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like completely out of that.
I've stayed really quiet on it. I actually haven't read very much about it. It just sort of landed on my...
Just thinking about design of the games.
Yeah.
You know, clean breaks where you can take a break from it.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Okay.
I don't know. That was just kind of neat. I mean, I think it's an interesting thing. I think that, you know, they've already got the store kind of set up in it. You can buy stuff. Yep. You can play it outside. You know, you can look a little crazy in front of your neighbors. You know, that's all sorts of stuff you can do with it. So, we'll see.
I like it from it's not an Index, right?
Correct.
But I think it's a much more usable, or I find the design to be more accessible to like, hey, like I'm going to show like, you know, your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's easy
right?
to hand off. People are
Right.
going to be able to like slip it on and get a better experience than maybe a Daydream might offer, right?
Sure.
You know, the actual, you'll be able to reach over and grab something, and you'll have like 2 controllers in your hands, and it'll actually be more immersive. I guess that would be the ultimately best gain of having that device. It's $500. It's $399, but it can go up to $500.
Yeah.
You know,
and I do.
If you go to like the 128 gig one, I think that's the $499 price point.
I like the price on that too for for a standalone. $399.
Although for $499, maybe $399 on sale, you can get a PS4 and a VR headset.
From the standpoint of you can buy this thing and you don't need anything else to play with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
True.
So.
True. It's all self-contained. You're ready to go. You don't have to worry about it. Another hardware news. There goes the Ouya.
Oof.
Ouya's gone finally. 6 years is how long it lasted. That's actually a console lifespan.
Well, yeah. Well, we were talking about this. I wasn't aware the thing was alive. You were the one that told me that Razer bought them.
Razer bought it and
that.
like supported it with their store. And then they made their own like little TV version that kind of looked like the Ouya.
Okay.
So
got it.
They supported it for a while, and I mean, there's a lot of interesting games in there. There's a lot of emulators. If you're into emulating any of the classics, you can do it easily on the way in. It's HDMI out. It's got a. I think it. If I remember correctly, I had one. I got rid of it, but if I remember correctly, it had a memory card built into it so you could store stuff, you could sideload. So it's like Android. But the store is still live for another 30 days?
June 25th.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
Another 30 days. Baltimore, Brooks said the same thing. He thought it was dead, man. It's still there.
I even asked our
controller was the most uncomfortable controller out there, but
I even asked our mutual buddy Steven, who kind of keeps up on some of the stuff Razer's doing, and he was like, Razer bought them?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember when it all went down. Like I said, I can't remember if it was 3 years ago or roughly, but they saved them because the company was going under.
Right.
Right. And probably it would have been gone a long time ago if it wasn't there.
Sure.
But there are some interesting games. There's some games you see, in other spots. Duck Game is on there. I mean, it's not the most amazing set, but for emulation, really, I don't think you can beat it. You can get any of the emulators. You can just sideload the ROMs and bam. Didn't they go bankrupt? They did, and then I think they were filing for it, and Razer came in and saved them. We'd have to look up the story. I'm not 100%. I just remember we were kind of on this kick for working on Android stuff, and that was right at the tail end of when I got out and started doing the publishing side, the licensing and publishing side. Yeah. So, hey, it's going away. It'll be here until, as Brooks said, June 25th. The store will be up. Obviously, you'll still be able to use the console, but you'll have to sideload anything. And it can sideload most, as far as I'd be aware, most Android games that would at least support up to the certain firmware it sits on.
Yeah, I would have to even pull up.
It has to have controller support.
I don't know how much Android
mapping.
support that continued to get. I think it's still stuck on Android 4 or 5.
I would have to think it's a 4 device.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, even that NVIDIA Shield that I have is 5 at the most.
Okay.
I don't think they ever updated beyond that. So it's gonna have its own. I'm sure you can go out there and find a ton of Android APKs that work on 4.0 that'll be able to be configured with it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's 30,000 ROMs out there sitting around probably. That you can put on it. Not that we condone it. So yeah, that was just other interesting news. We also had some interesting stuff from our friends over at GOG.
Yeah.
GOG is announcing their GOG Galaxy 2.0 client, which is aggressive. Not aggressive in a bad way, but what they're aiming for and what maybe they can pull off is super aggressive.
They shot high, for sure. Yeah.
And if you don't know, you can go sign up for a beta. It's at GOG.com. And essentially, what we figure they're trying to do is, unlike Epic, where they're trying to go and gather, exclusives to kind of keep in-house and to start an exclusive war between Steam and Epic.
Bring the exclusives. The players will come.
Yep.
We'll have players.
Instead of trying to compete at that level, which is costly and hard to do.
They can compete at that level because of Fortnite, right?
Yeah, they've been getting billion dumped into them every year.
Yeah.
What GOG is trying to do, I believe, is break Steam's hold on having this massive catalog and having all your friends on there and having the inability to access those games in a clean way outside on other platforms.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is a unified client that will bring in all the games on your PC, regardless of who you bought them from.
Epic, Steam, Bethesda, Battle.net, Uplay, EA Origin.
EA Origin.
Yep.
Not WildTangent.
Not yet.
Not yet. They probably are like, what? No. Ours is a little bit different, so they're probably not going to be able to achieve it the same way, or they probably just don't know to make the call the correct way. But all of those that Brooks listed, all the friends, all the achievements, plus... And they're going to connect to Sony, Switch, and Xbox, from what we understand. They say consoles, all three of those have the same kind of connectivity component. So I can see how they're going to get it. If they can do one, they'll get all three.
I get it with PlayStation and I get it with Xbox. I'm unsure of how it would work with Switch, but...
Well, because remember, there's Nintendo ID. Is that what it's called?
Well, but the Switch chat app is a phone thing. It's not a Switch level thing.
Yes, but it still uses your same ID.
Okay, fair.
I think so.
Okay.
I see. That's why I'm saying we don't know how they're doing because it's still in beta. But it is an interesting way to decouple a person's dependency upon the Steam catalog to then say, okay, you can just access everything from one. You don't have to buy from us, but you can buy from Steam or buy from anybody again, in hopes, we believe, in hopes that it will lessen the dependency upon buying for Steam because you want your games to be only in that catalog, and you won't really care where you're buying. It'll just all be together. I don't know how well it's going to go. I don't think that they're going to do it in a crappy way. Like, it's not going to be some underhanded way to get access to people's data or anything like that. That company, I don't believe, does stuff like that. They do things on the level.
That company does things in the exact
We're not endorsing
way.
it, but we don't. As far as I know, there's nothing that they do that's really egregious. Like, they do a good job at deploying games, and we like to promote. We like to give props to everybody that distributes games. We do that. That's what our business is. So it looks pretty nice, and we're interested to see what that does. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested in how they're going to do the console stuff. You won't be able to launch any games. You won't be able to. Yeah. There's caveats, right? You won't be able to launch console games from it.
It's more like the friends and the chat and the trophies.
Friends, chat, trophies, comparing. You'll still have, the updating of PC games only for GOG.com, they say right now. Mm-hmm. You'll still have to rely on Steam to do its thing, but it automatically does that regardless.
When I first heard
about it... Sure, Epic has something like that.
When I first heard about it, it's a launcher. I guess that's kind of what
it's a unified launcher.
Think of it, yeah.
You were talking about it's similar to like things we saw on Android.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's if it starts to give people options to not. I don't believe, and let's just say this personally, I don't believe Steam tries to force people to use it. They made a good service, people buy there, but they're not holding developers at bay with gunpoint. You can take your keys and you can go sell them on WildTangent. You can take them and sell them on Humble Bundle. You can take them and sell them on Green Man or G2A.
You can generate keys on Steam for free to you.
Yeah, they keep the dev would keep all of the rev share. Yeah. Right, in that deal, outside of like whatever the storefront they're distributing through. But if they distributed through their store, they'd be able to keep 100% of the revenue, their own store. Right? Mm-hmm. So Steam is not an evil thing. I'm not saying like that, but it's just like you buy an iPhone, you buy an Android device. When you start to buy movies, music, games, things like that for those devices, you're kind of locked in, especially on iOS. You're kind of locked in. Mm-hmm. You have to like be able to access your music on there and your videos. Now they've tried, like Android's tried to reach out and do like hey, we'll make an app over for the iPhone, things like that. But really, it's not as simple, and you become kind of dependent upon the platform you're buying from. So that's nothing different than what Steam did just inherently by being a good platform. Right.
Yeah, maybe we've talked about this. I think some of the accusations are a little overblown.
I think it is too. Yeah.
Online. I've sent the GOG 2.0 thing around, and I've heard there's one common thing I've heard, and this is from people that have worked in games, worked around games.
Yep.
Why didn't anybody do this before?
Because I question that too. I mean, it's
actually a pretty good idea.
It is,
and it's not.
If you have the ability to, if you have the ability to reach a base of consumers. Yeah. From what I understand, GOG is about 10 to 15% of Steam in terms of users. Okay. Right? Because they really started in doing classic games. Yeah. And DRM free and all that stuff. They've grown it over years, and they've done a great job with it. Mm-hmm. I think they have the industry chops. Yeah. As well as like they're not screwing anybody, doing anything like that. They've even reached out to where like you could link up your Steam account, and in certain instances, maybe specific times per the year, they would talk to developers, and if they got the developer to agree, if you had a Steam game, you get the DRM-free version when it's synced up right into your, it's called GOG Connect.
Yeah, for free.
For free.
Yeah.
So I think by doing those things, they've kind of set a precedent of like, let us have a chance at this and see what you think, kind of thing.
GOG and CD Projekt have earned themselves some credibility to do this, I think. That's my take of it, right?
And you know, funny enough, you just bought a CD Projekt Red game.
We did.
For the first time. You bought Witcher 3. But Baltimore made a good point. Like, Discord has also done a launcher.
That's right.
Right?
That's right,
It's a pretty decent launcher. I think that Discord is a little bit more focused on the chat still and all that stuff. But they've got a store and all that stuff, so that's a good point, Baltimore. It's not that GOG is the only one doing it.
I forgot that Discord did that, actually. Yeah.
But I think that GOG is doing it in a way that will help everybody in the industry. It'll decouple consumers to be able to buy from where they want. And if it works, you're still going to have all of your content in the same place. You can still buy from whoever you like, but you won't have that dependency on one platform or another. It'll be interesting. Console is going to be a different story. It's still walled garden kind of thing. But, you know, the chat and the friends list and the stuff and all that stuff definitely makes it a little bit more palpable.
Yeah, we all signed up. I'll be really curious to play with it when it comes out.
Yeah, next is GOG. I hope not. I don't think they'll do that. They don't strike me as a company. They don't like DRM, and I don't think they like exclusives. I think they want people to be able to play what they want where they want.
Yeah.
I really hope that they stick with that. But that is funny. Let's see. Last story, and then we're going to get off of this. Well, we're not talking about Tfue and FaZe Clan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. Anti-bill, loot box, getting bipartisan support. It's a song and dance. We don't know what's going to happen, but you know, that's moving forward. We talked about it briefly last week.
Yeah.
I think that potentially there's pressure coming down. I know that the ESA is involved, and they're trying to say, well, you know, senators and Congress people, they don't understand. The government doesn't really understand. We'll teach them about loot boxes. You know, I don't think anybody's surprised.
No.
That this is coming down on the AAA studios, right, or developer publishers. They knew better. They got greedy.
Yep.
They were heavy-handed. Let's hope that they control it a little bit more, that they can make an agreement with Congress like they did with rating systems and kind of keep it out of the realm of government control. But I'm not arguing that being under 18, you shouldn't be like constantly bombarded with loot boxes that make it hard for you to say no.
That's sort of the opinion I have formed on this. I'm not a big buyer of loot boxes.
Yeah.
I absolutely have bought loot boxes in more than one game. And,
oh, sure.
And
some of us spend a little bit more
to the tune of maybe more than $5 and $10 for sure, right? I mean,
I thought you were going to go another zero behind each of those.
Well, hey, okay, the Fortnite crew's not here tonight. So I guess the way I ultimately come down has to be that if you're an adult, I don't really care what you do with your money.
True.
I know this about, you know, myself and you, that we're not big gamblers when we go to Las Vegas.
No, I don't gamble at all. So.
Right. But I think there's the whole, you know, if you're young and if you're 9, 10, 12, 15, I think that whole...
Oh, it's a little... Yeah, you don't really understand the connection to cash out versus what you're getting, and it's not really your money usually. Parents get involved. It really makes it hard on families when they got to go and try to... Usually, these companies are smart enough, though. They usually will, if you make a big enough noise, they will refund it.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? And we're talking about like these crazy amounts where it's like $20,000 or something like that. Like, that gets too much press on it. That gets too much attention. They don't want that.
Cleaning up the PR costs more than the $20,000 that they gave back.
So I think just, God, make it easier on people. Just don't do it. Right?
Yeah.
Don't really force it upon kids.
And we were talking to some people kind of on the outside on this, and it's like, I guess I haven't even. Okay, so take one more step back on it. I guess I'm of the opinion that if you have to hide your stuff in loot boxes, that like let's say you make a game and you make 100 cosmetic items.
Yep.
But if you really only think 10 of them are cool, and you have to bury the other wrap them together with the other 90 or whatever, and hope it's just like. I guess I believe that if you make something cool and you want to charge $6 for a skin or whatever it is, right? A cosmetic horse.
Charge $6 for the one that you're showing.
Yeah, charge $6. I have no problem.
Don't make kids try and have a random chance of getting it.
Yeah, I would rather.
Or anybody.
I would rather anybody, not even this is child or adult.
Yeah.
I would want them to be like, I'm happy about this purchase because I got something that I think's worth my money. Not I'm happy because I won.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that. I think that it should be like, here's what I'm selling you. You see it? You want it? Okay.
Yeah.
People will buy it.
And I guess my expectation would be that it would be funny at the end of this if what happens is people just started making higher quality stuff to sell.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I agree with that.
So.
There's ramifications. That's true, Baltimore. Burn the llamas. Burn the llamas. So one feel-good story before we jump into the games. Ubisoft. Being good guys that they are. One of the cool things that they did, and I don't know if everybody knows this or not, Ubisoft did a lot of work replicating digitally Paris for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yep.
One of the things that they did really well was the it's a chapel. It's Notre Dame.
Yep.
Is it a chapel or is it? It's not a chapel. It's a cathedral of Notre Dame. So they're trying to help raise money for the restoration since it burned a month ago, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I don't remember the exact date.
They put the game out for free, telling people to donate.
Yep.
And they did it a couple other times. And they got review bombed.
Uh-oh.
But unlike Unity, the first time around, it was all positives.
Right.
And it Steam had no way of managing it. They were like, we weren't planning on it ever going the other way. It would go down.
I guess I'll take that as a nice problem that you have to solve.
It was people being happy about what they were doing. And we all know Unity had it a little tough.
Sure.
Because they had a horrible launch. But the game is actually decent now. They fixed a lot of the stuff. So, yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Nice little story to end on.
Yeah.
Where something good came about. But let's jump in. So we've got a couple games we're going to run through. We're not going to spend a lot of time because we want to get to American Fugitive, play a little bit of that. We're doing something tonight where I hadn't done it yet or before. We're going to try to put some insertions in the video, not for ads, funny enough, so that we can pull out spots within the video so we'll be able to show them on games live when we're playing and people will be able to find where it is. We do have the DVR component turned on for YouTube, so if you want to do that, you can always go back and see what we did. I think it's on automatically for Twitch as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and do that and mark a notation when we actually are talking about a game. So the first game we're going to talk about is Dandara. Now this is a Raw Fury game. And this actually comes to us through our friends at Plug-in Digital. I'll turn the audio up just a hair. And this game actually is... So Dandara is it's kind of like a mixture between Super Meat Boy and Metroid, like a Metroidvania style gameplay.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, Dandara was she had something to do with a patron saint not patron saint, a figurehead in the early 17 or 1800s for slavery.
Okay.
I don't know really how much more that plays into it, but I do know that that's kind of where this was built around.
Okay.
I don't know really how far into the story it plays, but the game itself plays a little fast. You can probably really rip around through it. It's actually more. You need to know where you're jumping, and then you need to know, obviously, and you don't have to be that precise. You can see me as I'm bouncing around here. I actually can go much faster than that. I thought initially, I had to, you're using the right or the left stick, and you're trying to verify, okay, I'm going to touch this wall. It's actually far more easier to do that. It's really casual,
right,
of where you're bouncing around. You can make it pretty quick without having to be pinpoint. But you stick to anything, and you're making your way through the levels, and you're trying to dodge, obviously, right there. Spikes that are moving. There's traps set up. It definitely has a Metroid style, doors opening, areas that you enter, areas when you leave. When you die, you start over from the beginning. So it's got that nice crushing difficulty level of if you just hate to get so far and then die. See, I'm going faster there. There's some weapons in it. You can actually sit there and you'll find enemies. You'll be shooting at them. Uses the same kind of mechanic to shoot as it does to jump.
I do. That is one thing I do like about the game. It's sort of and we've talked about this
trajectories. Thank you, Paul.
We've talked about this with other games where it's kind of a straightforward to learn, hard to master.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those. It's got its own. It's got its own learning curve. It was pretty easy to pick up though as you started to play. We had the game not a long time ago, from a different partner.
Yeah.
And I had played it back then, and I think we even did a stream. Not you and I, but somebody else within the company at that time. And it seemed to be a fun game. I was always into at that time, I think Dead Cells had come out.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before this. And
this was still early access type of thing.
This was an early access type of thing, but this game came out, and a lot of people were raving about it. They liked the story. They liked the heroine of the game and kind of the story that she was involved with. It's good for speedrunners. I like the speed in that of the game, Baltimore. You can really start jamming through this thing, and if you get really good, you can be firing, shooting, jumping,
all kind
really
of
blaring through everything. And obviously setting, watching out for traps. There's chests that you've got to pick up. There's upgrades there. Maps that you can get, very similar in the same vein to Metroid.
Yeah,
and that's that idea.
Oh, so, I mean the get close.
Here's the link if anybody wants to see it.
Get close to shoot when you're next to the door, right?
Yeah,
I mean, for sure.
We will have the build of this. I think we had talked about this on the other Raw Fury games. We will have the build of this coming here in another week.
Yeah,
and you'll be able to try it for free if you just want to check it out. It's 30 minutes, but the link that I put in is for the Steam version. Right now, that's what we have. So, I mean, you can see, I can zip around. I was just trying to show, if you really want to speed through it, you can bounce back and forth pretty good. But then there's, this chest comes up, you've got to make your way through. Now, these things only fire off when you start to touch them. So you can actually get through without being damaged pretty quick. But that's Dandara. Nice game. We're going to kind of move on from that one. But definitely an adventure game built with kind of the Metroid idea of design and the look and feel, and funny enough, similar mechanic of Super Meat Boy. You can't move while you can't move while you're on a surface, like you can in Super Meat Boy. You can actually slide, kind of.
Right.
I think that's what he does. Is kind of slide, but you can hop from point to point and still grapple. With the trajectory system that they have.
Yeah, it looks good, plays good. It's a unique kind of mix of some cool mechanics.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely gives you a different design. So let's move over to our tennis game. So I don't know how many people are big fans of tennis. We looked at this game and it's a good deal. I mean, you get tons of, I think it's like $100 almost worth of DLC,
something like that.
Unlockable characters, all that stuff. I go through some of them here. You can see I think that's the entire roster.
Okay.
There. And this is for Tennis World Tour Roland Garros.
Because I believe the tennis stars that they added are on the bottom row in this screen.
Yeah, because John McEnroe is not your normal character that would show up anymore, although he's funny, and that's who I chose to pick up. Because I remember him.
Oh, he's my favorite tennis player, yeah.
I remember him from the 80s, right? 80s, 90s, I guess. I don't know. Was he around? He wasn't around.
He was one gen before the 90s, because I feel like 90s tennis was the whole Agassi and Pete Sampras.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Steffi Graf thing.
Exactly.
Before it turned into, what is it now? It's Federer and...
Oh, yeah. You have totally different stars that I don't even follow. You do get a lot of venues. Some of the major ones, as far as I know. I didn't see Wimbledon in there. So Wimbledon must be like its own licensed product.
I would expect that Wimbledon is not dissimilar from like Augusta in tennis or in golf games, where it's
where it's going to be a separate thing because of it. Yeah, that's true. They hold their own rights, so they're like, we'll make our own stuff.
Yeah.
Nadal. Rafael Nadal.
Thank you. Yes.
There you go. Thanks. So I picked McEnroe. You get kind of your deck that you're adding in for your buffs. So it's got some interesting components. The tennis plays well. I can say that. The Baltimore makes a point like Mario Tennis is pretty fun. It is.
I was just going to say
it's casual. It's fun. This plays kind of in the middle of those two. This has got a little bit more reaction time to it.
Okay.
And there's some point where when they smash the ball, you got to be right on it, or you're not getting anywhere near it. I did find some interesting things about when a ball goes out of bounds or when your opponent hits it out of bounds. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't seem like your guy will go after it if it's going out. Huh. You can run towards it. I'm not 100% sure if it's because I was holding the control button down or not, and I didn't let go to swing.
Okay.
Or if he just wouldn't even swing at that point. I couldn't figure it out. But the game plays very, very fast. The AI is pretty good.
Okay.
I will say that. I think based upon who you're playing, obviously they have faster reaction time, they have speed, harder hits. But the AI felt pretty solid. I used to play a lot of tennis. Well, not a lot of tennis, but I was a sucker for buying a lot of Dreamcast games. So I played a lot of Sega Sports Tennis. Mm-hmm. I forget what it was called. Virtual Tennis.
I'll tell you, on PSP, that was the last time I got into a tennis game.
There could be a setting, Baltimore. Yeah, you're right. It could be a setting that I had enabled by default, where it wouldn't allow you to go after balls going out of bounds or something like that.
Okay.
What was it? Which one did you play?
Oh, I played on PSP.
On PSP, yeah.
I played a couple on that.
I remember some of those. Those were fun.
Yeah.
They looked really good too. I mean, especially for a little mobile portable device.
The screen was
less than the cell phone.
960 by 540.
Yeah, I think my
my
iPhone screen is bigger than the damn PSP screen.
It absolutely was. Yeah.
Crazy. But if you're a fan of tennis, I didn't mind it. I thought it had a good challenge. Again, it plays well. There wasn't a lot of... I don't know if this is and honestly, I haven't played tons of tennis games over the past 5-6 years.
Neither have I.
I really don't know what you should be expecting. But I was playing on a pretty solid machine. There's no hitching, but the graphics on it definitely looks different. Looks a little bit like 7th generation than it does current generation.
Leaves a little to be desired.
Yeah. But it's still. I think if you're looking for more of solid gameplay, that's where it probably wins in that sense, because it played very well. And I was playing last night with the Steam controller.
Okay.
So I didn't try it on keyboard because I just felt like
I gotta think this game
I couldn't really play it well if I was on a keyboard.
I gotta think this is designed to be played with a control.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, some games do add that for novice players, and by default, it potentially could be on because, they want people to get in quickly without having to battle the AI for, some weird things that they would feel like would take away from their experience within the first 5-10 minutes. Mine was great. I mean, again, we try to do like the first 30 minutes of a game to kind of understand, because if we can't give you 30-second trial, we try to show it at least some of what's in the 30. Or sorry, if we can't give you a 30-minute trial on a Steam game, for example, we can't control that. We try to at least play the first 30 minutes to kind of get the feel, and then show you video from that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was right off the bat, I was doing well, and I think I lost one match out of the first set, but won the set. And I didn't even lose a match in the second set. So it was a little bit easy. So potentially Baltimore's got it right, where, yeah, it might have been like maybe a setting that's just done by default, where they want people to get in and just be able to give it a try. So there's the link in the chats. If anybody's interested in checking it out. It's, like I said, available today. We just launched it this morning. Brooks built all the stuff, and I put it up live. So this game's available. Got any more to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's got everything that you would expect. It's got the surface types, whether it's clay or grass.
Yeah, like grass.
It's got all the shots, right? So it's got a kind of I don't want to call it a simulation, but it is a realistic interpretation, where something
it's far more real than it is like fantasy or super. It's not like you get these super smashes.
As opposed to like Aces, where it's like super, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. It's nothing like that. So the next game that we're going to talk about is Uurnog. Mm-hmm. Uurnog's another Raw Fury.
Yep.
Great for couch co-op. Yeah, I mean, if you've got a good game for couch, and we've talked about this, there's a few. Overcooked is one of those.
Right.
If you've never played Overcooked is an amazing. It's an amazing couch co-op experience for 4 people.
The game, in my opinion, can appeal to almost everyone.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got that, what do you want to call it, right? Where it's a little Mario Party-ish.
Yes.
Where, like, even if you're into ultra serious, this or that, I'm playing Days Gone or whatever, that, like, you can have some people over, and the beer's on the table, and, like, you probably end up with a decent time.
Yeah, you're going to have a good time playing through it, for sure. Sorry, give me 1 second. I got to get back into I got kicked out of the YouTube when I tried to make that clip, so we might not be doing that the same way. Might not be the way to go.
Okay.
The next game we're going to talk about is Uurnog. Uurnog is actually a interesting game. It's 2D platformer. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit. Well, we'll flip it on here. Actually, let me get right back into the live control center so I can actually see chat and all that. We're going to have to come up with something different, I think. That didn't work out as well as I thought it would for cataloging the points where we jump from game to game.
Okay.
It kicked me out. It tried to make it. I think I did it as a highlight clip instead of slating it for a mark. Yeah, which is what I think we need to do. But Uurnog is actually a 2D platform. Oh, I have the wrong video. Sorry, folks. Give us a second. That came out of nowhere. Because we were going to talk about this, but now we've got to figure out where. Give me a sec. Let me figure out where the actual video is for that. Because that is Uurnog. But I didn't even put in Second Squad. So let me create one for us really fast. I think I can just do this. We're going to do this on the fly. Sorry, folks. Not the way we like to do it, but it's the way we're going to have to do it. And there's the Uurnog file.
Minimal downtime.
Minimal downtime.
Back in business.
Yep, we're right. Stretch it out. Okay, so there's Uurnog. So like I said, it's a 2D... It's a little 2D platformer. Puzzle platformer. Mm-hmm. Let's say that. This is from Raw Fury. The puzzle platformer components come into play when you're actually... when you're picking up different blocks, different characters, different keys. You're essentially trying to get into the hub world. Mm-hmm. there's a hub world for it. When you're in the hub world, you can start to unlock other worlds. Other locations. You can buy upgrades, accessories, stuff like that. You can buy different weapons. So while it looks nice and cute, it is very cute, and even with the weapons and all that's very cute. It actually is a little bit more challenged than you'd expect in the game.
It's as I was reading about it, one thing I found kind of interesting. One of the inspirations for the game was Mario Brothers 2. Not a game that frequently inspires a lot.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of choice.
Yeah, no, I think that's true.
And you can even see a little bit of it with how you enter doors, the way you grab stuff and pull it above your head, like the radishes.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like it definitely has a little bit of. What's the one that it actually is? I said it last time. We were talking about this. Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Doki Doki Panic is what it is in Japan.
For anyone that doesn't know, Mario Brothers 2 did not actually start with it.
Yeah, no, it actually was totally different.
And then they were like, for America, Mario.
Yep. It was interesting. So let's see, where am I? So I'm trying to find door A. So I've got the key. And at that point, stream went down on YouTube. Yeah, I saw that.
Our infrastructure?
No, I think it's up. I think everything's still up. Thank you, Cameron. Cameron's watching it for us. He's been here for a little bit tonight. Trying to keep an eye on it for us. Why did it go down? Nope, it's back up. Okay. Anyhow. Don't know why. I think it's back up on the site too. Can you check?
Yeah, I'm checking right now.
We're running, for one thing we're doing tonight is we're actually running the stream as a test for, okay, yep, it's back up. So we're running a test for where you'll be able to see these videos across all the different pages of games that we are showcasing.
Yeah.
So all 6 games in the future will have the video running on them, very similar to other distribution platforms.
Yeah, and well, I think maybe we'll talk about it a little more next week, but there's a couple little projects marketing's doing for us to kind of...
Yeah, we've got a lot of help from
so.
the marketing team here, so they're actually doing some extra stuff. But yeah, you can see here, I'm in the gun shop. Doesn't really change the look. Certain doors are taller too, so you can walk through with a gun or something that you're carrying. Shorter doors you can only walk through without carrying anything.
Okay.
Everything you carry is above your head. If you notice that. And there's different colors of blocks, and it's telling you like, hey, in here you gotta bring a bird in. The bird helps you fly. Certain birds help you fall slower.
Okay.
When you jump off things, certain birds help you fly. Here's a puzzle where you gotta bring a gun in to be able to shoot a item that will allow you to break the force field, the electrified field. Different boxes you can get. Obviously, boxes play a big role in the game because it's basically how you crawl on top of things.
Right.
Enemies or boxes. But it's just this is just a little town in the game. It reminded me a little bit of, like I said, Paper Mario was one, but it actually reminded me a little bit of Zelda 2.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually own this. It was free game for Twitch Prime. Oh, very cool. So, hey, if you were a Twitch Prime member back then, you got it for free. But it is an interesting little game. Have you ever played it, Ballmer? Or is it just one of those things where you own it and you put it in the pile to kind of save that for when you're 90 years old and you'll play a game? It's one of those things. I mean, I laugh about it, but kind of the same thing for me. I have tons of games where I always plan on playing them, and I'm excited about it. I want to play them, but I just don't have the time.
And then things come up, right?
Yeah, I just bought one like that. I bought that Fade to Silence.
Right.
I was telling you about. We were checking it out. It looks interesting enough to me. One of these days, I'm going to get to it.
Get around to it.
Yeah, it's added to your 1,000 game challenge, I know. And That was a laugh. I got close. I got at least a quarter of the way through.
Like almost a third of the way through. I think.
Yeah, about a third, about 300. Yeah, ridiculous amount of things. You're sitting there thinking, so, separate story to this game. There was a guy that just got the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest game collection.
Okay.
It's like 20,000 plus games. Physical games. Not like digital games. Physical games.
Okay.
The guy lives in like, he doesn't live in a mansion, I'll say that.
Sure.
He lives in a normal house with there's like stacks on the ceiling. Left and right, all around him. And somebody figured out if he was to play every game, it would take him like, if he was to play a game a day, it would take him like till 65 years or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
And that's as if today no more games were made or whatever. Right?
No more games ever made. That's the problem that I have, is I'm like, if they stopped making games today, I might be able to play every game.
Sure.
If they keep going, never.
Right.
Because there's too many good games, right?
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. Like, it's going to be tough to get to this game because we got to get to this one.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Days Gone's coming up. Oh, got to hurry up and play through. What was it? Got to hurry up and play through Sekiro.
I was rushing through Sekiro, yeah.
Right? Whatever it is. Too many games. I don't disagree that like games are good. Just, man, there's a lot of games to get to and they all look great. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And you don't even play PC games, really.
Not as much, no.
Yeah,
Not on my personal time.
I do on my personal time, and man, there's just a never-ending stream of that. Like, I forget how many games launch a day. It's like 300.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is good for this game. It's very good. I enjoyed it. I mean, this game actually is nice, relaxing. There wasn't a lot of tension. It's more about puzzle solving, right? So it's not like there's some points where you got to jump out of the way.
It's not a pure
so you don't get
platformer.
shot, but
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, it's not a platformer meant to be like Mario.
Right.
It's good though. I like the design. It does look psychedelic. I agree with that. And the characters all have crazy eyes. Dogs, there's all sorts of stuff. You can just pick anything up you want and take it into your little club.
You know, it's been really fascinating to see, and we kind of
Game. I tried turning it down, but
that we've talked about this before. We're back on when NES and SNES during that time. When I say the average person, making a game used to be incredibly difficult.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that.
To the point where some game developers even kind of made these game creator games, like RPG Maker and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's not exactly the case anymore. The tool sets have become, it reminds me not dissimilar from, I'm not saying anybody can just crack open a computer and make an amazing game, but the tools are available.
Yep.
The tools are less expensive than not.
They're not cumbersome.
And I mean, some things like Unity, where it's even like, it's your money until you make X dollars, and then we'll have enough, and then we'll talk or whatever,
we'll talk.
right?
Yeah. And I like that kind of model. Like, hey, use this engine. Once you actually make something, then you can pay us. That's kind of interesting.
And then from that has basically spawned a whole, whether you want to call it indie or experimental, it's just the ideas that it used to be like, hey, you can have an idea, an artist and a dude that codes, and like, you can make a game now with a couple of people. And
you can be good at it.
Growing up, that was not a thing for me, right? That was...
Sure.
You and I couldn't go grab one of the engineers and come up with a game.
Yeah, no.
Right?
It would be tough. Games are able to be made by anybody these days.
Sure.
Now, good games are a different thing.
Sure.
But, hey, you got to start somewhere.
Oh, you absolutely got to start somewhere, right?
That's how it works. All right, let's jump now. Which game are we doing next? We were going to do. We were going to do Shock Troopers. So that's the one you'd seen the sneak peek
teased
on.
a little bit ago.
Yeah, we teased that one a little
For
bit.
Uurnog, yeah.
So we're going to have to swap over here. So let's see. So Shock Troopers, just so everybody knows, this is the Neo Geo game we were talking about earlier on in the show. So this one is a follow-up to Shock Troopers.
Yep.
Which we played 2 streams ago, maybe?
Yes. Yeah.
So Shock Troopers Second Squad is a direct, like, basically you listen to the audio in the game, and you definitely get the feel like let's just say this, Resident Evil may not have the worst audio I've ever heard voice acting. This might top it. This one might top it. But it is, as much as I like the old style like MAME machines or MAME gaming at home, but arcade machines, and I built an arcade to have at the house. And this game plays great on it. It's harder to play this game on controller, I think, only for the fact that it's not hard, but it feels weird because you're only using the left stick.
Well, this game was made in a time when there was
Yeah, exactly.
It was a touchpad. There was twin sticks were legitimately not a thing.
Right. So you had one controller, and that controller controls the movement and the aim, which is odd.
That's what I find a little bit odd
after
having played games with two sticks.
But you play it on a joystick, like you play it on like my arcade. You don't really notice it as much because you actually have, like I said, you actually have just one stick instead of two thumbsticks that you're having to worry about. Your mind doesn't think I have to use dual sticks.
How funny. Yeah.
So it plays really well. And, obviously they changed up the sprite, the design. I believe that they do use some pre-rendered stuff for the tanks and things like that.
Did they have tanks in the first game?
No, they didn't.
Okay,
that was just straight run and gun. This is a co-op game as well. You can sit there and play. You can see player 2's waiting. I didn't have a player 2. So it was just me playing it. But it's a quarter muncher.
Oh,
it is meant... The game was designed to just kill you every few seconds. And just for you to plug quarters into the damn thing. So when you get into these games and you're playing them on your PC at home, that's what you're in for. A lot of death. Not really an opportunity to get out of the way. I did notice some slowdown in this game, and I don't know why. I think it's just the game is emulated.
Okay.
And there's nothing it can do. The emulator is what's slowing down.
Okay.
And I think that probably would have been the case from the arcade.
Okay.
The arcade machine itself probably has.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of slowdown in the game. I think it's by default. They didn't want to change the game design, right? Obviously, when you're doing the retro emulators. M. Bison got a new job, by the way. You can see him show up. I don't know who he was, but it wasn't the M. Bison that Capcom was. The gameplay itself, though, for 2 players, is awesome. Game looks really overexposed right now. It's not this bright.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe it was the rendering I did on it. I did a couple cuts on it.
Okay.
Might have been something that I don't have the...
strange.
I don't have Premiere Pro set up the same on this computer as I do as my home and my laptop. But yeah, you just die constantly. There's just no way to get out of the way. It's meant to do that because they want you to plug, back in the day, they wanted you just to dump quarter after quarter into it.
Okay, so question. This is a slight tangent, but so in today's sort of just media, you see, whether it's accusations about pay to win or loot boxes or whatever. Yep. Did anybody ever get accused back in the day? Did anybody get accusatory towards developers of you're making this game for financial purposes only?
No.
Because I don't ever remember hearing that in the arcade.
No, I don't think so either. And really, arcades were the cheapest deaths you could have in any game.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Egregious.
They were made to do that. So, no, I don't remember it ever being a big thing. I remember when I'd go to an arcade, my folks would give me $5 or something like that. Mm-hmm. We lived really far away from it. It was not like you were going to it every week. This was once a month.
Occasions or something, yeah.
And you get $5. You buy a roll of tokens.
Yeah.
Right? Because Aladdin Castle, that might have been... I think Aladdin Castle was one of the chain arcades.
Okay. We had one down the street from me in Kirkland called Quarters that we played at. So.
And, you'd trade in your dollars for fake dollar change or whatever.
Right.
And then you'd burn through that, and that'd be it. But you'd have maybe about 45 minutes. Maybe $5 would give you about 45 minutes. But as a kid, I didn't have a lot of my own money, so I was just given whatever, and parents could manage that because they were the ones handing it to you. So I think it was a little bit less concerning back in the day. Now, obviously, children, if they have the right access, can just continue to buy loot bag after loot box after, microtransaction, and there goes parents' paycheck. Oops. Yeah, nobody was really cognizant of those those practices. That's what Baltimore's saying.
That's
nobody put two and two together. Like how bad it
there wasn't an internet and a Facebook and a Twitter to go complain on. So of course nobody complained.
Yeah, Baltimore says Night of the Living Dead, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken took all his quarters.
Okay.
Mine was Dragon's Lair. That was a big one because you had to learn how to fix it, and then once you knew, you were okay. Or you had to learn the patterns.
Yeah.
Dragon's Lair, probably Mortal Kombat, I'd agree as well. Iron Man Stewart's Racing.
Okay.
Played that a ton. And then I did like the shooting games. So House of the Dead was a good one. I liked some of those ones that came out in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, where it was 3 stories and you sat in a chair and it would take you up. GameWorks would have them, things like that. I was older then and didn't.
My favorite arcade game is still Time Crisis. You could put a Time Crisis machine in front of me. I'd play it right now. I still love those games.
Had that duck, that
foot pedal. The pedal with the gun. Oh
yeah. No, the foot pedal was awesome.
Yeah,
I agree with that. The foot pedal was the way to go. Time Crisis is the shit. It's really good. Let me put the link to chat in for this one. I don't think this. What is this game on our service? $7? $6.99? They're all pretty cheap.
I want to say with a member discount, $6.49, so $8.
Yeah. $8, yeah. Yeah, we really like the retro games. We're actually doing a little bit more. We've got some coming in from Magnasoft next, and we're getting a bunch of the Neo Geos, and we're getting them from Pico Interactive. So we're getting a lot of actual MAME style or arcade style games. Games from the Super Nintendo, the NES.
We've been kind of kicking around how to even group them together, kind of on our website.
Yeah, we're going to figure out a way. I think that we can use one of the carousel kind of things to point to a landing page. But I like the retro style games, so we're going to try and see if we can put them up a little bit and maybe do a deal around them, make them a little bit more reasonable to purchase in bulk, lots of them, or play them at least. Oh yeah, the steering wheel and the shifters on arcade machines.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hard drive and God. Do you remember the Ferrari one from Sega? Where you actually got a printout of your performance?
That's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
No.
So Sega made that Ferrari 308 game.
Okay.
Where it was like a simulator. You're just on a racetrack.
Was this late 80s?
This was late 90s.
Late 90s, okay.
Mid to late 90s.
Okay.
And you'd get in, driving, and it's got 3 screens, right?
Okay.
You got the 3 screens. We're going to jump over to the next game here. So on this game, you had the 3 screens, the wraparound display.
Right.
It's a simulation of driving a Ferrari game. And then when you were done, as long as it had the printer paper, it would print out your actual telemetry data.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it stored it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cool things they were trying to do with arcade games.
Even
the Neo Geo, you could take games like that if you had the actual AES or MVS system. Take that. There was a card that you could save the games on, and you could take it to a Neo Geo arcade machine, plug it in, and play your game or save stuff from it.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about this before. Where it's sort of over time,
the clutch pedals
due to the internet that. Playing online with your friends became very easy from your home. I remember when Xbox LANs and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
and I will never forget arcades, and I'm always glad they will always hold a special place for me. Of where you would have to,
of course,
because some of the games in arcades, that was the only place you could play them. Right. So it's I'm not necessarily saying I want to go back to that time where we're all just hyper connected, and it's we put 7 people in a PS chat or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but I still like the I still think it's cool getting together and kind of sitting around whatever game you all decide to play, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's Street Fighter or a fighting game or Mortal Kombat or a driving game, I like the experience of going to an arcade.
Yeah, it is something I miss. I don't really go, even though my son's now 15 or so.
I haven't been to an arcade in a minute.
We could go, but he's just not a game player, so there's not really a reason for me to go do that when I got like all these games I got to play at home. And
right.
The Steam catalog keeps overloading me, and any other PC games that I get, keeps overloading me. So yeah, it's a little bit much. A little bit much to say jump in a car and go play something.
Before trash talk on the internet, there was trash talk in the arcade. So
was that game called Outrun? No, that was Sega's other version. Outrun was an arcade racer.
Yeah.
This was a simulator that had the printout. I'm not sure if I could find an image of it, Baltimore, or not. I'll look at it while we're on here, but it was actually made for the Dreamcast as well. So they took that same game and they deployed it. I thought it was Ferrari 308. Because Outrun was an arcade simulator. It was more about like time lapping, getting through like checkpoints.
Right.
Right. That's how they did Outrun. And Sega actually did a bunch of good ones of Outrun, following up through like the Xbox 360. I think that was the best one. It was like a digital only though. That was like the final Outrun game. Was on Xbox 360.
Okay.
But they did a really good job, and they were really fun to play. A game similar to Outrun, if you like those, is Horizon Chase. You talked to those guys. They were from Brazil, I think.
Yeah, Sandro. Uh-huh.
Sandro, yeah. So Horizon Chase is probably the closest thing you'll get to an Outrun today. That's that kind of quality. And I think it's on Steam. We never got it, did we?
Horizon Chase?
Yeah.
No, we hear from Sandro, man, right?
Because he had that shooter, right?
He had that really interesting shooter that played on like any machine.
Yeah, you could play it on anything, and it had like, what did it have? It had like, what was its kick? It had like very specific ways of like customization or something like that, or skins.
Well, so the kick was it was a free game.
Yeah.
And it was built with an incredibly wide range of specs. So you could play this on it worked on like a laptop that didn't have a video card that you got for a couple $100.
Yeah.
And then to monetize, he had the exclusive seasonal content in it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because we met with him at Casual Connect 3 years ago?
Yeah, and
2 years
he was
ago?
talking about seasonal stuff, and that's exactly what Fortnite and everybody does. So yeah, he was well ahead of the time. Sega Driving Simulator, that's probably it.
Yeah, I know his Horizon Chase game has done rather well.
Yeah, Horizon Chase is done well. A lot of retro gamers love it. Mm-hmm. Just because it actually is like that true arcade style racing.
There's very few true arcade racers.
Baltimore found a link for us too.
So
this, talking about cars.
Okay.
Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. It's from Playway.
We're not filling the airplane gas tank with oil today, I'll tell you that.
No, we're not. This is a little bit more up my alley. At least I know something to do with a car. It was kind of funny. We were trying to record this, and I was having an issue with the machine, so we ended up recording it in one shot right before the game.
Right.
And that's what happened with the other simulator the last time.
Yeah.
Remember, I had to record it right before the show.
Uh-huh.
This one is really cool. Car Mechanic Simulator.
Rolling in the money over here.
Well, yeah, they gave me $900 million because I did sandbox mode. There is a full campaign for it.
Okay.
There's a whole way that you learn how to do everything. What I did, I threw it into sandbox mode. It gave me a ton of cash, so I could go. In sandbox, you can go, and even in the campaign, I believe, you can bid and auction cars, right? You can sit there and at an auction and bid on cars and buy it. So I bought this one. It's a nice Firebird. Looks like or Camaro.
Well, we were talking about this where it's the cars
cars
aren't truly licensed.
They're not licensed.
They're very
they look
close
like it. Yeah.
To other cars.
You see the Bandits car in the beginning of 2018. I mean, that's exactly what it is. But they're not licensed, so you got to kind of look at it. You can see if it's got body damage, if it's got rust, you've got to fix all of that stuff. They went above and beyond the simulator angle for this. You can replace everything on the car, I think, except for the frame. You can cut body panels, you can paint, you can sand, you can do everything there. You can change tires, there's tire machines, there's a computer, just like the other ones where you can order all your parts from. You can sell parts, you can test drive the car in this now. So you can play around, drive the car, race the cars, things like that.
Slide
you
the
saw
car
me
around
do
a little bit.
I just did some easy stuff here for the video because, again, we don't have tons of time when we're doing it. But here, just swapping out like brakes, drums, and tires and rims. And it took me all of, I guess, maybe 10 minutes, if that.
Do any real car mechanics come home and play Car Mechanic Simulator?
I would imagine yes.
You think so? Okay.
Oh.
I'm curious.
It's probably how they enjoy it, because they can probably like sit there and go like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do what you ask. I'm going to do it this way. I would have to think. I don't know.
It's one of the things.
I mean, would you? Well, I guess would you play a publishing game simulator?
Yeah.
I play game dev simulator. That's fun.
Where's account management simulator? Is that a thing yet?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah, but I mean, game publishing simulator. If they made it, I'd probably play it. I'd hope I'd be good at it. I mean, I'm not really going far enough for you, but you know.
Yes, I don't know if I would go home and play that game.
Gaming talk show simulator. I'm sure they have a PC. They have a PC build simulator.
Yes.
They're gonna have gaming.
Yes.
Well, they already have YouTube simulator.
Okay.
It's a YouTuber kind of YouTuber's life, I think, is what it is.
All right.
You can go play it. I actually own it. It's funny.
Well, one thing we laughed about, our buddy Scott, he was helping. What was it like? It was his friend or his? No, it was your buddy. It was your neighbor. Pitson was building one, and then Scott's friend's kid was also looking at a gaming PC, and then he even went and got him a copy of PC Building Simulator once he built his PC.
Yeah, which was kind of funny. I think that's, it's kind of like, I guess it's circular, right? Or jumping the shark, maybe, because you've done something finally that you could have done already. So, yeah, I mean, it's a funny game. These games, I think the car mechanic games are the best ones. There's House Flipper Simulator, there's Thief Simulator, there's all sorts of stuff. I think that actually Car Mechanic Simulator is probably one of the best ones. And I've really only ever played like 2014.
Okay.
2014, 2015. 2018 did a lot of stuff. Lonnie, who's our marketing head, he likes it. He was playing it the other night, and we were talking about it. Because the game has been selling well.
He was playing 2018?
Yeah, he was playing 2018. And the game has been selling well here. So we were just looking at it and talking about it. And like you can see the pull of it, the draw.
Yeah.
Like it teaches you everything. I mean, hell, you could probably learn a little bit about like how to do car maintenance. Maybe not swapping heads on a V8, but like changing a tire. Well, you take the bolts off if you didn't know. Oh, okay. You have to jack it up. Things like that. It's very basic. Some people kind of go like, well, I would have known that, but they're the ones stuck on the highway too when they can't figure it out.
No oil in the gas tank.
Funny enough, every car I bought in this game, there was no oil in the actual engine. I had to put oil in, not gas, oil.
Okay.
I didn't understand that.
As if it got to you somehow in
magically.
transport with no oil.
Just magic.
Okay.
It's all magic. Gets more complicated as you go. Yeah, for sure. They definitely go a little bit further. Oh, Baltimore's sending us. Oh, geez. Holy cow. Look at that. That's a driving simulator for sure. Speakers, switches, accelerator pedals. This is what you could have. Wow.
Which one did he send over? I'm sorry, I didn't have that side of the channel.
This was the Sega simulator, I guess. That's not it, no. I'll have to send it to you, Baltimore. I'll find it. But that's pretty impressive. You can build that at home, even, for about $5,000. I know, I've looked into it. I was thinking about, like, buying a simulator seat that moves and all this.
I remember talking about it.
Yeah. Then I came out of the silliness.
Got something a little more practical.
Got something a little more practical. Still in VR, it's amazing to sit in a cockpit seat with a steering wheel that is well done. And I played Gran Turismo VR a lot, or Gran Turismo 6 with the VR.
Everybody I know that has one, which is 2, because it's you and Aaron, don't even play racing games unless you're in the sim.
Yeah, no, right? you definitely have to have a
it's
wheel.
It's like simmer bust.
Yeah, I mean, anymore, it's so replicative, or it's so well done that it replicates what you can have from an arcade machine in your own house. Why would you play it any other way?
Yeah, another thing I've heard is that you can actually, the majority of the best players, like if you go look at that like GT Sport League, right? It's like there is a higher skill ceiling if you play on wheel.
I would have to.
Right? Because it's like you have the full,
the feel
720 or 900 on the wheel versus like a thumbstick one way or the next.
Yeah.
So.
No, I can see that, and definitely I wouldn't want to race against somebody with a wheel if I was trying to compete.
Right. Yeah.
Because if they're playing and they're good at it, they're going to wipe the floor with you. Let's get into playing a game.
Cool.
Instead of talking about the damn things, we're going to play a game. So we're going to play American Fugitive. Turn that up just a hair. It might be overpowering again. Let me know. Baltimore if it is, or anybody in the chat. But we're going to play a little American Fugitive. And there we go. And let's see. Oh, I got to flip it over to the actual screen. Go there. So American Fugitive, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning, is kind of... Oh, you actually got a sneak peek of this last night. Very cool. It's an interesting game. It's kind of Chinatown Wars mixed with narrative story. The story reminds me of the Fugitive movie.
Okay.
So I'm going to continue from where I left off.
Well, it's kind of like what, 80s rural America?
I would think.
Yeah.
So essentially, the character's dad is killed, and you're in his house when this happens, and you get thrown in jail. Yeah, the fastback Mustang. Nice car, Hank Sheriff. Shouldn't it be Sheriff Hank? I guess it's just saying. Well, it's probably saying his name, Hank, and he's the sheriff. Maybe that's how it is. Local man murders son. But, that was basically the plot. Like, essentially, you're being blamed for the death of your father, and they throw you in jail right away, I guess, or you end up in jail. You wind up in jail. You're William, and petty theft and brutal slaying. Essentially, this is where it is. So we've already gone past the point where the father died.
Right.
So now we're in the big house.
Okay.
And we're talking to our almost ex-wife's brother-in-law or brother. I can't remember. And essentially, you're still good buddies with him. And they preface it the story of like, you weren't having a great marriage anyhow to begin with before any of this went down. Mm-hmm. So, a little bit of narrative. You kind of go through. You can skip all of that. We'll go ahead and do that right now. People can play it and enjoy it, but you get the opportunity to break out. So now we're here. We were using controller too. So you can see just an Xbox controller, not the Steam controller right now. But we can get our way through here a little bit. And we got this Tuesday is when it came out, the 21st.
Yep, day off.
Yep. Yeah, the camera takes a little bit. Well, there's the title drop right there. The camera does take a little bit of getting used to because there's no zooming in or anything like that. Except when you duck, it does zoom in, or you stop. Sorry, when you stop, it does zoom in a little bit. But it's always kind of that overhead 2/3 perspective, like Chinatown Wars kind of style of camera. I think I've actually got to go a little bit further up the road. Did you end up watching somebody stream it, Baltimore? So we can grab some food. The problem I've heard people complaining about is that I need a blunt object. that you end up, when you die, you always start back here early on. So like where you left off.
Okay.
Or where you left out of prison. So we need even a blunt object to break into there. Let's see, we might... Oops. Is there something here? Brick. Pretty blunt.
So if you are playing and let's say you make your way through a portion of the game, you save and die, it starts you over? Or is it like, I got caught, I'm going back to the big
I've got
house?
caught. I think it's
Okay.
until you really kind of save.
Okay.
Oh, Craig G... the guy from Twitch. He picked it up. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Oh, the brick won't work there. Okay. It'll work on a window, probably. Will it allow me to break the window? Nope. Oh, no, it will. Okay, smash window. Use brick. Brick breaks window. Okay. And then this is kind of like... You get this interesting layout. You're not inside the actual building.
Okay.
You're kind of more... I'm going to take all this stuff. You're kind of more just seeing this floor plan, and then you can pick which way you want to go to different rooms, or here there's only one room, so you can sneak out the window, you can go out the actual door, and that's it. So it's got that kind of... You are able to go in buildings, but you're not actually in the building. They didn't build the building inside.
Right. There's no interior view.
No. Let's grab that. Now I think we can break into this. There we go. Crouch enter. And there, we're now on our way. Yeah, it's... I like the design of it. I like the story around it, from what I understand of it. I haven't played through the game, obviously. I don't mind this so much, because obviously you could have done this. So another game that's similar to this is How to Survive.
Okay.
If you look that one up, How to Survive kind of has the same type of camera. It's got the same type of exploration. I believe it's a much smaller world, though, because this is open world. But that game's kind of open world, too, but it's a little bit more like you're following past, things like that. Well, they made it to where in How to Survive, you can go behind. They made it like How to Survive third person. That's what they called it.
Okay.
And it just basically brought the camera down to the ground level. So more than likely, they'll do an update or add a mod or something like that where you'll be able to do that.
Get it a little more behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of above. So to Baltimore's point, you might not have to worry about the camera so much if you don't like it this way. Look for them to maybe do an update after a while. So we are in our prison attire. We need to go find some clothes. So let's see if we can get in the motel room. Crowbar won't work there. Well, that's crazy. We're kind of out in the open now. We're in our prison jumpsuit. Peek in there. Unoccupied. Smash the window. Wouldn't that make a lot of noise? How about kicking it in? There we go. Oh! Police will arrive in 44 seconds. Is there anything? 33, 32? Oh, wow. When you're holding that in, that's... Take. Okay, get out. Get out. Run. Now, look at us. We got...
What did you put on?
I think we put on a robe or we put on a woman's... Oh, man. A little bit of clothing goes a long way in this game.
You know what it also reminds me of a little bit? You'll remember this. We were at... This had to have been Casual Connect a couple of years ago. We bumped into Richard Rouse, and they made that game, The Church of Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
coming out this year.
Yeah, finally coming out. That when I saw this, that was what I thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of that Church of Darkness look to it. I think any game that just plays in a isometric...
Sure.
Is that what we're looking at? Like an isometric view?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Yeah. I I think any game that plays like that, you're going to go like, oh, that reminds me of this game.
Right.
That reminds me of that game. I think that's just inherently the way we look at things. But this game, I want to get into the cars because I see like here, like the challenge is probably for jumping. Let's see what that blinking thing is. I'd probably say it's just like an indicator, like you can jump this ramp.
I feel like the blue in that dress doesn't match your eyes, but I'll allow it.
Somebody already got hit. Now, will they talk to me? Nope, they don't even care.
Not wearing that dress.
Yeah. If I saw me coming towards them in that, I might not do it either. The general store. It's daytime. Kind of worried about doing that. Let's see if we can go find. Okay, we're in the back trespassing. Oops, there's a guy that's gonna see me. Let's go down the alley. Maybe we can go find something more suitable in a farmhouse. Oh, the scarecrow. Can we take off the clothes? That would be funny.
Pick up?
Nope.
Or no, that's the carrot.
Let's eat a carrot. I thought we could maybe take his clothes. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that wasn't a bad idea.
Let's see. There's got to be a farmhouse here, though, right? Yep, right there. Well, that's a barn. Where's the house? I might even be able to steal that
Follow
tractor.
the path, I guess. That would be my thought. There we go.
Take a look now. Well, that's a weird-looking farmhouse, if that's a pie. It was like a restaurant. Oh, no, a train station.
Okay.
Nope, that's not what we want. It was a good try. Here, we'll put it full screen so everybody can
So people can see the dress, for sure.
Yeah. You don't want to... You're missing the dress because we're covering it up. Oh, there we go. Wild berries, we'll take those. What we'd love to have is the ability to hear the audio.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about this a couple of times.
We don't have the ability to hear the audio right now. I'm sure it's pretty good. I heard it when I played it, but can we get in here? No. The barn looks like it's off limits. Even the windows. It is a big map, though. Yeah, we've been trucking around for a little bit.
It's a nice meaty open world.
Yeah, I wonder if you can get a view of what the entire world looks like.
I gotta think at some point there has to be some form of mapping system.
Yeah, I would think so, too. Okay, let's see. Maybe there's a spot here we can break into. It's a weak lock. Can we look inside and see if there's anybody in there? Let's do that. Unoccupied. Okay, cool. So let's see if we can get in without bringing the cops down on us. Break into or kick in?
I'm gonna go with Y.
Okay. Okay. Oh no! Police arrive. Grab. A wrench. Okay, we're not gonna risk it. Let's go this way. Officer was a crazy guy in a dress.
Hypothetically, if I had done it.
Man, we need... Okay, well, there's a woman that stole my look. Can we break into cars? I know we can steal a car. Pretty sure we can steal a car. Oh, this is a clothing shop. Okay, now we're a little bit closer to what we need. We have $10. No, they don't really seem to pay attention to me, so that's fine.
Let's see what you can get for your $10 here. Ooh, hold up. Hold up. No witnesses. Hold up. No
yeah,
witnesses.
hold on. We're gonna shop.
Pass the control.
Do we even? Yeah,
this.
exactly. You'd handle that. Do we even have anything that we can buy? Can we sell the dress? Probably not until we buy something. Are we going for it?
Like I said, All
right.
You just gotta make decisions.
Hey, Kevin, welcome. How are you? How do you lose the cops? Well, we haven't ran into the cops yet. We just kind of like been able to bounce around.
We're trying to not, yeah.
We're trying not to run into them. You get a chance to get away. It gives you like a countdown timer, and as you're searching, like you press and hold to search, and the timer speeds up because you're searching. Mm-hmm. But we've always been able to get out before the cops showed up. So, all right, we're gonna threaten her with the crowbar.
Yep.
The owner's scared. She's sweating it. Okay. I think we restrain her. Oh, we don't have anything to restrain her? Take anything we want.
Attack.
Attack?
Attack.
Nah, let her go.
What?
We can let her go.
Okay.
We'll let her go. Oh, there goes the timer. Release. Good. She's gone. Shopkeeper's fled. Let's see. See, the timer goes really fast. Now let's grab ourselves a trench coat.
No. Get the police outfit. Get the police outfit.
Where's the police outfit?
Right. A couple.
Black suit.
It's right next to the trench coat. There you go. Pulling the police out. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, officer.
Okay, we're out of here.
No, dude, you should.
Look at that.
Should have stayed.
No, we're out of here. We're not gonna risk it.
Okay.
Oh, do some upgrades. I did the car races, but now you got. So you've actually been playing this, Kevin. That's awesome. It does look like an interesting game. Like I said, it's one that I've played. I played games that seemed familiar.
Yeah.
Right. Especially that How to Survive kind of seems familiar to it.
Did you pick this up on launch day, Kevin?
Yeah. Oh, there's a cop. I know. Nothing to see here, officer. I'm checking out the location. Is he gone? He's gone? Carjack.
The universal steel car button is Y.
Yep. And now we're gone. Okay, now we got wanted stars. All right, let's go. Oh, no. I could have stole his car. Through the mobile trailer park. There's always one. The driving is a little touchy, not bad. It's actually pretty good. No, we're not going that way. Never mind. Let's get out of here. So, meet Dwayne at the salvage yard. So that's our first mission. So we got to go the other way, but I'm just trying to lose that star. Oh, there's some water. Let's go check that out. Oh. A little auto damage, too.
Wow, you lost that star right as he pulled up. That was close.
Oh, no, we got it again.
Oh,
no. The water looks okay. This nice Ford POS is just keeping us alive here just enough to get down the road. We're going to do probably not a good idea. We're going to go back to the salvage yard. Let's go back this way. I think we're good now. We're going to get away.
I remember the very first time somebody showed me GTA. I'm talking GTA 1, right?
Yep.
It was my mom's friend.
No.
My mom's friend Laura. They've been friends for 40 years.
Oh, okay.
It was her husband, boyfriend. I don't recall the relationship. I want to say her husband. He had a small little PC, and he knew I was kind of into games, but I was still a little bit younger.
Yeah.
And I kind of had Nintendos or whatnot, and I was just like, I remember getting into the car, and she's like, dude, you can like really just like run over people, shoot people.
That's what she was saying?
Oh no, that's what I was sitting there thinking as I was playing this, right? So it was.
That's funny. No drunk driving here. So Kevin asked, "Oh, we using mouse or keyboard, or are we using Xbox remote?" We're using the Xbox One controller.
We typically tend to play with controller. Because sometimes we'll play co-op games.
Yeah.
And it's a little challenging to get two mouse and keyboard setups going. But just with our streaming arrangement, it makes it much more simple when we have a control.
It does, yeah. It's a little bit further away from where we sit, Kevin, so it makes it nice. This game is pretty sweet. I like it. And it's not bad. What's the price on it? 14?
Yeah, $14.99.
$14.99. It's not a bad game. Not a bad price for a game. You dumb son of a bitch. All right, we're gonna skip the dialogues because we don't want to ruin that experience for people because we're not, obviously playing through the entire game.
Did you just blast his cat? Wow.
No.
Pretty sure that's
He's the brother-in-law.
I thought I said kill his cat. Okay. Huh.
What?
Yeah.
Locate the car owner history. Oh, so to bring up a little bit more of the story, there was a certain car that was sitting out in front of your dad's house when you got there. He remembered this car. It was very unique. And he told his brother-in-law, or I think it's his brother-in-law, about the car. And he's like, I've seen that car in town. And that's right before you bring
Got it.
So let's take the tow truck. I'm sure he'll be happy about that. You use a controller about 90% of the time on PC, Baltimore. Yeah, do you use the Steam controller or do you use like an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One controller or PS4 or even the Switch works now? Which one do you use, Baltimore? Okay, let's see here. So we're heading across town, right?
It's kind of a funny thing. When I was back when I was really running MMOs in a row, when I was a little bit younger, I absolutely swore by mouse and keyboard, and I could not see myself moving away from it. But just with kind of how I game today, it usually tends to be after, work.
Sure.
And some of those days tend to run longer. It's nice to kick back in a chair, put your feet up, have the control. I still like playing mouse and keyboard, but I find myself almost always playing control these days.
Right, whoops. No, I agree with that. You're using, what did Kevin say? He's thought mouse would help for aiming, but the remote, the control remote works better. I think it just plays easier because there's certain games where, like dual stick shooters,
right,
are horrible on mouse and keyboard.
Right. Yeah.
Like the only way to play them for me is with a Xbox remote or controller. We're gonna go rough somebody up. Car dealer. There's someone inside.
Confront.
Sure. I am the law. Oh, so she was breaking and entering, and he's
a fugitive. Okay.
Book. Don't play dumb, Mr. Riley. I know you were looking for it. Oh, so she knows him.
I was kind of hoping he was going to walk in and pull like a cop angle with this outfit.
Right, like a bad porn.
Yeah, funny's never happened to me, right?
I grew up on console, so you're just accustomed to it now. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Baltimore. I mean, that's what Brooks was saying as well. Like, console it's easier to sit back, away from your TV, chill out, relax, and play with a controller. So, yeah, consoles have really made it far more approachable to have controllers.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Wasn't the first victim, but won't be the last. Okay, so this is an actual killer that's out on the loose. Should be in touch. Search the office myself. Okay. Search around. Cable ties. Paperweight. Car owner history. Okay, well that might help us. So I forget what this car was. He said a specific car. I don't know. Nothing. Yeah, the Buzzard. That's what it was. These are all like the name. Remember the names of the cars in GTA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of similar in that sense. Okay, so nothing there. Better call Dwayne. Use the phone that I broke into to call somebody.
Right.
The Black Widow. That's a good. Yeah, she did look. She was all dressed in like black and dark colors and dark hair.
For a second, I thought you were talking about that because what did we look up the other day? there's a food eating. There's a woman in like the food eating.
Oh yeah, this is that
called
one
the
thing.
Black Widow. That's a small little.
What is that guy's name that we watch? Who?
Oh, Matt Stoney.
Oh, Matt Stoney.
Matt Stoney. Oh yeah.
Matt Stoney, the trying to eat like 7 pounds of Pop Rocks one time, something like that in one setting. But yeah, the Black Widow is the woman that
small little woman.
Woman that like competes in it. It's crazy. Let's see, nothing here. Okay, taking the cable ties and the paperweight. I'll check over here. Donut. Look, nobody's going to be suspicious. I got my my sheriff uniform on.
Yep.
Or cable ties. What's up with the cable ties? Let me go out the window.
I think it's like you tie them up and then you knock them upside the head with the paperweight.
Right. This is mine.
Not that I steal, but if I did, I wouldn't steal paperweights. I would probably
Yeah,
just
that
leave
probably
that.
wouldn't be my my trip down that road to get that. Yeah, that dude's wild. Yeah, Matt Stoney is pretty funny.
Oh, ridiculous.
A lot of food. Ooh. Take that truck. I dented the door. Okay. So, steal the Buzzard GTX. Where's that at? It's down this way. Oh, it's actually right here. Look at that. Look at that. Can I just tow it? Cover 2 birds with 1 stone. Do I really want to break the window? I guess so.
I don't think you got an option.
Oh, we're going to pry the door open. Deliver this back to the lockup. Okay, now we got something with some... This looks like the car that was in the beginning of Car Mechanic Simulator.
How funny.
Let's see. Where is it? This way. This car definitely moves faster. Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh, you know what other game this reminds me of? It was a mobile game, and it's called... I have it on my phone.
Mobile game.
Yeah, I don't... My phone's dead. I have an old school cell phone in the inventory. Do I? Oh, wait, that's not the inventory. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. Check that out. That is a Ultra Classic.
Oof.
Is what that's called. A Motorola Ultra Classic 2. I know because I sold them.
We have many a fun conversations about,
no.
at the start of the...
This way. Dinged his car. Cops coming. The lockup is over here. What was the name of that? It's made by a company. We'll just take a shortcut. They were based out of Sweden. Something racing. Oh, look at that. Wrong turn.
Yeah, because you're not talking about real racing, right?
No. If my phone wasn't dead, I would actually be able to tell you, but it looks very similar in the way the cars drive. At least you got another car, or you got the car. It's going to be a shame to tear her down. Mission complete. After complete missions, you're awarded upgrade points. Oh, nice. There's an upgrade tree. Let's see. Upgrades. So we can increase the size of our inventory. We can increase our maximum health. Our ability to hold up people.
We had that racing game on the Android service, didn't we?
Real racing?
No, it's not real. I know what you're... It's driving me nuts, too, because I can even see the game.
Oh, man. I have it on my phone, but it's dead. I can't see it. Yeah, it's a racing game, but it's really interesting. It plays really well.
I mean,
180 epic. Yeah, no, that was nice, kind of pulling in like that. That was not intentional, though. that was a little bit of loose control and me looking over and talking to Brooks. Sprint for longer. I guess, if we were going to play forever, I'd probably say, let's increase the chance to hold people up. Because that's going to get you stuff right away, I'd imagine. And now we have the zip ties to tie him up. Okay, that was it. Well, by the way, let's go do that. Let's go try our zip ties. What is this? Time trial. Oh, okay. Let's try our zip ties on somebody that we can hold up. And the first person is at the train yard. Crowbar won't work there, really. What is this area then? I don't know what that is. We're looking for a store where we can hold somebody up. And we need a vehicle, so let's take this van. Call the cops. I am the cops, lady. Oh, my crowbar broke. $500 gold. Oh, do the races if you've got a car to do it. Okay, makes sense. You can earn more money. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Who do we have here? The gas station. Perfect. Oh, the cops are coming too. Hold up. Well, we would do more, but we're only playing it for a little bit. Yeah, till about 8, so a few more minutes. You've been overpowered. Oh, no. Oh! He's got the wrench.
Wow. Wow. Forget your plans.
Yeah, forget that. That damn point was wasted. Is the cop chasing
Not
him?
only did he throw you out, but he took your wrench.
Took my wrench. I don't know what to say about that. That point didn't do anything.
Huh.
We'll truck on over here and see if we can bust somebody up. Is there anybody home? Oop. Unoccupied. Oh, well, at least the kitchen's unoccupied. But let's, I guess I guess people just aren't afraid of wrenches as they are like guns or crowbars.
I guess so, yeah.
Maybe that's the lesson learned. The cops really don't chase you much.
Okay.
Yet. That's what I've noticed.
I mean, I figure with 1 star, it's not as, we don't got,
right.
the FBI or the military.
Just the good old
on you.
boys,
Right.
They don't mean no harm. Oh, the woods are a little slow down. Let's see, we'll roll over here. There's a parking lot, so that's always a good thing. What else do we have? Oh, we can even run too. We need to find somebody. I wish there was a map. Oh, we do have a map. Oh, wow. Okay.
Cool.
So this is the area that we can go to. We are where? Right here? Current location. So there's a couple things here. So let's head this way.
I love this, Waze assisted map where it even shows where the cops are at on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, why not? Oh, there's a ramp. Oh, do we have to cross over the river?
Probably go around.
No, we can go around. I would like to jump something into that drain. I'd like to jump something into that lake. This guy's looking prime. As long as he doesn't take off running. Oh, no, never mind.
I was just going to say hello, officer.
Never mind. Never mind. Stop. Get out of there. Amish.
Technically,
Amish guy.
oh
no.
Oh wow! Last time you threw
Johnny on the
out of a
spot.
car.
Okay, let's get this. Whoa. Okay, we're in a New Yorker, so I don't know how much we're gonna do here. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's get our line up.
Well, that cop certainly didn't care.
Yeah, we're gonna use this as a run. This car's slow. We're not gonna get much out of this.
What is the objective here?
I don't know. It's always... What else do you do in, like, GTA games? Oh. Jump fail.
So you were supposed to get it onto the dock,
I
or whatever you
remember.
want to call it. Okay.
I think we need something with a little more RPM. Yeah, exactly. What else do you do when you get... You don't play the game of Grand Theft Auto. You go around and find what you can break, what you can rob, what you can jump, you know, where you can speed.
Anytime I've played GTA, I play as a law-abiding citizen, okay?
Oh,
wow. No. You gonna let anyone else throw you around tonight?
He took my... He took my wrench.
See, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. Here's what happened. Is word got out in town that you let the first one go, and ever since then you've just been getting tossed around.
I'm telling
So,
you. They're like, this dude's a punk.
had we done things my way the first time and knocked the woman down, maybe
Right, the word would have been like, watch out. Okay, we're gonna swim across the lake.
You worried about drowning?
No.
Okay. Not that big of a lake.
No. And let's be honest, I've swam a mile in my life. At one time.
Okay.
Boy Scouts, you gotta swim, well, you can swim
Oh.
a mile to get a merit badge. Or badge. It took it took a long time, actually. Humvee, just
I have never swam that far.
It's very slow. This is not like Michael Phelps doing it.
Right, sure.
Right.
Well,
I was taking it pretty easy. It took like an hour or so, something like that. Normally a mile takes you, about 4 minutes to walk?
I don't swim when I can't see the bottom, so that's my position
not
on
20
swimming.
minutes to walk, sorry. 4 minutes you'd be running. Uh-oh. Look at this.
Jack him.
Fellas.
Jack him. Go.
Oh no, I gotta break it. They're shooting me. Get in there.
Ooh, 5 stars. Now you were in trouble. You were in some trouble now.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, hot shot.
Can I turn the sirens on?
It's like
toggle siren.
the ending of this is very fitting. It's like one of those, you've seen those, like the world's greatest criminals, where they all end up on the
exactly
high-speed chase at
like.
the end. Something horrific will happen.
Oh, there's another jump. Oh no, it's on fire.
Here's the part of the video where they get out and they start running.
Okay.
Here he goes. Ooh.
Oh, can I run up this mound? Dirt? Yes. Oh, they're shooting. They're out to kill. No. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. No. Okay, I can run. I know that. I'm going to run sprint a little bit.
That can actually happen. Even if you legitimately stole a cop car, they couldn't shoot you. They could shoot the tires out.
I don't know
Oh,
if
there
I
you
would
go.
say that.
There's the big dog RCPD over there.
No, we're going this way. Go to the trailer park. Oh, man, they are really trying to kill me. Well, I am an escaped fugitive, so that could be a different thing, too. They might try to kill you.
That's true. That's right.
You're considered probably armed and dangerous. There are no cars in the trailer park. Why? Okay, we're gonna... Let's try to lose them. Oh no, we're not losing them.
I'm thinking this might be it for you right here. Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the chopper. There are no cars when this alarm's going off. Oh, there's a van. The chopper's got me. Dude, it is just like that show you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
What is it called?
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's like Cops.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
God, it is just like a cop show. I'm horrible at this. Oh, don't hit my Astro. No. He's just pushing. And now he's laying right on. He's just waiting right at the lake edge, but he dove out and I had.
I cannot believe you're still alive.
I know. I've got to be dying here. Come on, give me something with some speed. Okay. One more time. Going out like a maverick. In a Datsun. All right. Let's see. Oh, no. Okay, here was the thing. No, don't hit my car. Holy. Get away from me. Okay, there we go. Straight on. Straight on. Straight on. Oh! Alright. Poor landing. Okay, I give up. Okay, we've been arrested. Alright. That was
Hilarious.
fun. Hold on. Let me
Hilarious.
yeah, no, that was pretty good at the end. I've got to get the screen back up because our machine's time out. Okay. So that was American Fugitive, just for some fun. It's got a full story. We're not going to obviously get to the full story tonight, but that was pretty funny.
There
was some entertainment.
I got a laugh out of that.
Yeah, no, at the end that was good. Appreciate everybody for hanging out and watching that. I will put the link in chat. We do have it for sale. It's the Steam Key version.
Yeah.
We may be getting, I didn't look at that one, we may be getting the build. If you want to try it free for 30 minutes, it might be here in the next week or two. We'll update you next week if we're going to get the build for it. And the build's like a DRM free build. That's what we talk about when we do that. The other news is that we did get we got Daedalic done. Yep. So we've signed with Daedalic. We've got their games. You will see Daedalic's games going up over the next probably month or two. Yeah, we're gonna try to do like one a day in one every day for the month of June at least. We've got enough of those. Some of the games they delivered were really solid. I mean, well, they're all games are really solid, but like Holy Potatoes, Spy. Story.
We got AER in there. We got State of Mind in there.
That one you were interested in, State of Mind. We got some Deponia. We got some
Blackguards 1 and 2.
Yep, Blackguards 1 and 2.
That one.
We got, what was the other one that I was talking about earlier? The Shogun one. Or, sorry, give me one sec, and I will bring it up. Man, I get a lot of email throughout the day. Jeez. Ken Follett's
yes.
Pillars of Earth, Journey Home. Also, another one that I own, but I haven't ever had a chance to play it. Yeah, State of Mind seems pretty interesting. For sure, Baltimore. I know that Brooks has been interested in it as well. We've been talking about it for probably since it launched.
We were talking about it when it launched, yeah.
The other game that I'm interested in is Shadow Tactics. Blade Shogun.
Cool.
Yeah. That one, I own it. I've just never really had enough time to get into it. I played it, but I haven't beat it.
And I mean, this is
really good.
This is only round one. We've got a couple
very
of
similar to this type of view as well.
Yeah.
It's one of those games, not cars involved and escaping from police and all that. Yeah, you're welcome, Kevin. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Baltimore, we appreciate you hanging out here, man, on Twitch. Definitely thanks for the mod. And, we'll see everybody next Thursday. Same time, 6 p.m. That'll be our 19th show. We'll be talking probably a lot of Daedalic games.
Yep.
But we'll probably have new games deploying same day that week. We're also going to try to do a little bit of City Skyline Campus. We tried to do that tonight. It didn't work out because we didn't really have... We were trying to use multiple saves that our buddy John gave, and I was trying to use my son's. But we'll try to do maybe a little bit of that next week as well. Yeah,
I mean, one thing that we've kind of talked about for a couple of months is like, we were kind of doing more like 12, 14 releases a week. Now we're back up to speed. We're kind of doing about 20 plus
about 20
releases
plus
every
games
week.
a week we're deploying, which Definitely is not the same level as Steam, but it's plenty for us, for 2 people.
For a couple person shop or whatnot. So
you play it to kill time. Yeah, Cities is a really good game. It's fun, for sure. So we will definitely talk to you guys next Thursday, same time. Have a great weekend and play some games.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks again.
Take it easy.
See you, folks.